Brothers, Cain and Abel Red Rye Ale. If you can get it, get it. It's good. Hey YouTube, Joe here. So, it's a brew day today. Nikki and I are getting married in September, so it is time to start brewing the beer. We're about 6 weeks out, so perfect time to get the beer going. So I developed this recipe for a maple brown ale. Grains here, I'm not sure if you can see in my spooky lab back there, but I've got my yeast starter going. Wanted to make sure that this one fermented out really well. As well, it was a yeast that was just past date, so had to take it home, had to use it, put it to work. So, in the bag we've got 7 pounds of Maris Otter, we've got a pound of Bonlander Munich, a pound of Caramel 60, 8 ounces of Chocolate Malt, all crushed, ground together. We've got 2 ounces of Fuggles hops here, which will be, one will be added for a 60-minute boil and one will be added the last 15 minutes. The yeast that's on the starter is the White Labs 023 Burton Ale. Never used that one before, but I think it's going to be awesome. Our wedding's in fall, so I was thinking maple brown ale, kind of a fall type thing. To me, I attribute maple flavors with fall. And that yeast supposedly kicks off like an apple, pear, clove kind of ester, which I think sounds like it'll go great with this. And then, of course, a pound, 12 fluid ounces of maple syrup, but that's about a pound of actual liquid. So yeah, we've got the strike water ready to go, the mash tuns outside ready to go, so without further ado, let's get on this. So here we are outside, ready to roll. Got our water heated up. A little bit above temperature, which works out just fine. You always lose a little bit. And I've had my mash tun here in the house, so it's a little bit cooler than ambient. Ball valve is closed, guys. Make sure the ball valve stays closed. Oh, a little particulate in there. I just brewed for the college class I'm teaching. So, must have had a little bit left over in there. That's fine. It's grain. Okay. That was our 5-2 stabilizer. I always use it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Got our bag of grain here, so we'll go ahead and dough it in. Big bag. It's just nice and slow all around, trying to avoid any dough balls. I typically try to stir it while I'm doing this, but my big bag here is making it a little hard to do that, so this will work. Plus, we've got a couple degrees to kill anyway, so leaving it open, not going to be a problem. Yummy. Cool. There we go. Oh, this smells awesome. Let me give it a little bit of a dip here. Chocolate malts are delicious. Maris is one of my favorites of all time anyway. I want it now! A little nervous about the wedding, of course, We've got folks, it's going to be a very, very small service. But still, I've made all the wine, I'm going to be making all the beer for it. A little nerve-wracking, Got to make sure it's done right. We've got several of my good friends from the East Coast flying in too, and that was another thing. I was like, ooh, maple. Yeah. I went to their wedding in Vermont, which was gorgeous and lovely. Kind of inspired it, so I'm just going to take a reading here on the temperature, see where we're at. We're shooting for about 152 or so. Use the probe to continue to dough it in, right? Okay, I'm not sure if you can see that. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. 153. This is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Beersmith, I had dialed into 152. So we got a little more body out of it, but not nothing too crazy. So, oh heavens to Betsy! This is going to be insane. I'm so freaking excited. Okay, pop that there. Give another quick probing, because I'm me, you know. Plus, I gotta show up on YouTube here. My mad brewing skills. Okay. Can you see that? 152 exact. Seal it up. We will be back in T-minus 1 hour. So it's time to do our iodine test here. See if we get some starch conversion. I'm guessing we did, but looks like it's staying brown to me, huh? Perfect. Okay, we are going to begin our sparge now. So yeah, we're going to move the camera and check our Sparge Water here. It looks like it's at 160, so it's going to be just a couple minutes until we get the sparge rolling here. But yeah, you can see it's maintaining that nice brown color, so you know that there are no starches left. So sweet deal. Okay, so with my new mash tun hose here, it's a little long, so I've got my container down here. We're going to do the whirlfloc, so I'm just going to barely open this here, get it trickling down into there. And I know it's a little hard to see, but you can see it's flowing in there. We'll get that grain bed compacted. It hangs just at the perfect height, I tell you. But we're going to slow it down because the gravity is working some magic, so it's getting pretty quick there. You obviously don't want to do your sparge your whirlfloc too fast because you'll compact your grain bed. And our water there is sitting at 170 exactly, so everything's going just fine. We'll just let that continue to sit there and drain for a few. Do this a couple times and then we'll get it draining into the boil kettle. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and, because we got that liquid left in the line there, we'll go ahead and shut that off. And see, you can see the air bubble traveling up as the rest of that wort exiting the line. Little burp. Perfect. Okay, now we'll get this put back in the mash tun. Whirlfloc 1 completed, so here we go into the boil kettle. And once we get a little bit more liquid volume in there, we will turn the heat on, start the boil. Oh, start bringing it up to the boil, I should say. So now what we're going to do is take the rest of the sparge water we had here, get it incorporated into the liquid in the mash tun here, onto the grain, get it sparged out, drain it in, and we will come back when it's time to start the boil. Okay, we are on the first of the 2 batch sparges we're doing on this one. Beer Smith told me to do half and half, 2.5 gallon and a 2.5 gallon, so that's what we're doing. See, it's running pretty clear. This is the second whirlfloc on sparge number, well, I guess this is technically sparge number 1, but we already drained the mash tun. So, whatever you want to consider that. I just keep setting the bowl I use down on the ground there, draining it out, and then once it fills up, I kill the line, like it's already done. Because you got gravity working on your side, it's like a siphon almost. The gravity is working on the liquid in my silicone hose here, so it's just pulling it down really quickly. So you don't want it to go too fast, but it's not as big of a concern as if you were, say, fly sparging, where you would want to make sure it's nice and slow. The batch sparge eliminates that problem. So yeah, we'll just do this. I'm thinking maybe one more time. You can see it's really clear already. So do it one more time and then we will drain that into the boil kettle. So, okay, this time I swear, next time we'll see you, it'll be at the start of the boil. We are coming up on the hot break here, and this one has been foamy.
in the mash tun, it it was like a thick bed of foam, that first Sparge. So keep an eye on. I got the squirt bottle ready. So you can see it's the volcano is getting ready to erupt. So it is a high temp silicone line there. There's still liquid draining in from the mash tun. So I'm gonna let it keep going until all is well. I don't know what that was. I am outside, so I think it was a little piece of tree. Landed in the foam, so we're good. That's what you get for brewing outdoors, right? One of these days I'll have my indoor system, and it's going to be awesome. Until then, whatever. So yeah, getting the turnover there. I've got the heat really cranked right now too, so it's going to only be a matter of time here before it gets real. We're just going to ride the gas. Get it past that hot break, and I just cranked it up a little more. I can still see liquid draining into that line there, so we'll just keep adding that until it stops. Every little bit on this one. Called for a full 5-gallon Sparge liquid volume, but I've only got that 5-gallon pot, so it's probably 4.5. So every bit of this I can get out of there is going to be beneficial. Help us nail in that ABV. Okay. It's doing the dance. It's thinking about it. All right. Here we go, y'all. Here we go, y'all. What? Yeah, you can see it's so thick. Okay. I'm dialing the gas back because it's starting to swell. Yep, see it? There it goes. When you're dealing with your hot break, look at that. It's a good 3/4 of an inch rise on that side there. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, okay. See? Oh, there we go. There we go. Just dial the gas back and hit it with some cold water. Holy smokes. Beautiful. Wow. That looks awesome. Taking it up a notch, trying to piss it off, see if we can make any more explosive foam, but I think we're past the hot break there. We are definitely past the hot break. Okay, so I'm going to dial it down just a little bit here and run and grab my hops. I realize I don't have my hops, so we'll see you in just a second. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Grabbed my Fuggles hops here and cut open the sides. So now we're going to add them nice and slow. Hand on the gas here, because they do like to flare up. This will be our 60-minute edition. Ooh la la. Kind of like playing with fire. So you're playing with boiling hot sugar liquid. Okay. That looks pretty good. Go ahead and pull this hose out now. I don't think too much is still draining in there. A little bit. You know, I think I'll just let this continue to collect in a separate container, and then we'll reincorporate it into the boil. We'll just add it right into the boil later, rather than keeping that hose in there the whole time. Okay, so we are at now 60 minutes. So we will start the timer and see you in 45 minutes when we add our next hop addition. Okay, so here we are. We are at 45 minutes. It is time to add our wort chiller. in it goes to begin sanitizing. Pulling the hoses off to the side here so they don't melt off like they've done in the past. We're going to pop in our whirlfloc tablet. Away it goes. Bring up the heat a little bit here. And then it's also time to add the last ounce of the UK Fuggle hops. I'm adding it quick because it's not boiling up crazy, so now I'm just going to watch the gas. We'll dial it back if necessary. May not need to. It's warming back up a little bit slowly, so it's kind of a cheater method, I guess. Break those chunks up a little bit there. There we go. Alright. Okay, so now I'm going to reset my timer. 15 more minutes. And then we will be done. We're going to be adding the maple syrup right at flame out, is my thought. No need to boil any extra sugar in there as necessary, but you know, can't hurt to sanitize it. It's already sanitized, well, not crystallized, but you know, really pure in the bottle there. You didn't see any crystals or anything like that. So yeah, we'll add it when it's nice and hot, and then yeah, so away it goes. T-minus 15. Okay, our timer just timed out, so now it's time to add the maple syrup. I'm going to add it slowly while it's still boiling. I think I'm going to dial it back just a bit. Here we go. Organic maple syrup. Get it incorporated. I am so excited about this beer, I can't even tell you. I'm going to turn it up just a bit. Get the rolling back. I want the movement. But not so much that it boils over. Nice slow addition there, and then it's time to chill. And real maple syrup, you can see it's not heavy or anything. Smells good. Okay, time to go chill this batch. Okay, so I'm sure you can hear that the water is running now. We've got our, whoops, and of course I kick everything out of the way. I'm a hazard to myself. Yep, so the cold water coming in, going out down our floor drain here. We're already down, it's only been on for maybe a minute, we're already down to 160. So yeah, we're just going to keep this plugging along, and once it's cooled down, it's into the fermenter with it. So if you're at home and you've got a little bit warmer tap water than preferred, which is where we are, it's the middle of summer and we've got a water tower, so our water's not the coolest it can be. One way to kind of help get your temperatures down, and in general just to get your right off boiling down, if you take your chiller, you probably want to grab the hot side on the hose or something like that. Early on, agitating it like this, you don't want to go crazy because you don't want to oxidize it, of course, but this will actually help drop those temperatures so fast. It's crazy how fast it'll work. And, you know, the concept is that you're avoiding the hot side aeration, and once you get down to, you know, I don't know, 80 degrees or so, doing this more vigorously will actually help oxygenate the wort a little bit better. So this is something I'll do. Especially early on in the process, just to help drop those temps down as fast as possible. You don't have to have the water flowing very hard at all for it to drop, you know, just degree. Let's see. Sanitized, of course. I just started bopping it up and down. maybe 30 seconds ago. Not sure if you can see that. 130 degrees. So just by flipping it, you know, popping it up and down, we've dropped 30 degrees in maybe, I don't know, a minute or two. So it really does help. Little word to the wise. Takes a little more care, but that turbulation of the liquid on your coil really does help. Turbulation. Is that even a word? Agitation. That's what I should say. So we're down to about 90 degrees or so. So I just thought I would shift the camera over here, show you the starter. Nice big, gosh, I was shooting for about 1,500 mils on this one. Burton ale yeast went in there. It's been going for 2 days now. And you can see completely milky. It was bubbling like crazy earlier this morning. It's since died down a little bit, so it's going to be perfect. First time using a foam stopper. Everything I've heard is that they help with that oxygen transfer. So we'll see if this batch gets going. But I'm going to pitch that whole lot into the into our batch here. I've got attached to the side of my stir plate here a rare earth magnet. This will help. We'll stick it to the side, and it'll hold on to our stir bar, so that way I don't dump the stir bar into the batch. But yeah, just thought I would show you the starter here going on 2 days now, and yeah, so there you go. So we are still in the cooling cycle here. I've got my primary fermenter sanitizing, as well as the strainer, of course, in there. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but we're at about 78 or so, and it's been holding there for about 5 minutes, so I'm not sure if our groundwater is going to take it down all the way it needs to go. Not a problem. Our yeast starter's probably sitting 72, 74, somewhere around there. That's about our ambient room temperature right now. It's been a hot day, so at least, I would say at least 72 degrees. So that's not a huge temperature differential between the wort temperature and the starter temperature. So I'm thinking I'm going to give it a couple more minutes here, and then we're going to get it transferred into the fermenter and get that yeast pitch, and then get it right in the fermentation chamber and knock it down to 67 with the refrigerator. I think that should be more than enough time for it to chill down without any, without causing off flavors. So yeah, so that's about where we are. Taking its time. Groundwater temperatures are hot right now. What you gonna do? Okay, so here we are. Went ahead and sanitized everything. I rinsed everything off so you could see a little bit better. Not necessary with Star San, of course. I also did a temperature reading on our groundwater. It's sitting at 72 degrees. So we're sitting at 76 right now. That's as good as it's gonna get. So we're just gonna roll with it here. So everything's sanitized. Time to get the wort here into the fermenter. Gonna dump it like I usually do from up high, splash it around, and get a little bit of aeration going on. We're gonna pitch that yeast and get her done. So here we go. Said I knew this one's going to be a foamy bastard. The mash tun was just full of foam. I added no carapils, no dextrin malts whatsoever. And look at that. It's a monster, man. I'm going to have to keep an eye out for a blowout on this one, I think. Kind of moving it around, trying to get through those hops. It's draining slowly but surely. There are larger strainers I should probably just get one. I think this is like an 8-inch or something like that. Bigger one's 10.5. Oh, I also forgot to mention. So our target gravity was 1057. This batch came in at 1054. So not too bad. I honestly was expecting a little bit of a difference because it's really hard to calculate the sugar content of your maple sugar or maple syrup. So yeah, so the fact that we came in within just a couple points, I am a-okay with how that happened. So should be a nice big beer. The starter's going really, really well. Our sugar content's, close to where it should be. Yeah, everything should go great. A little bit of sludge, I think I'm okay with that. Cut my losses, save some time here. So I'm going to take one more temperature reading here. I'm not sure if you can see that or not. We're sitting at like 75. 75, 76, right around there. I'll take it. I could have done a pre-chiller on this, running, say, ice water through the line before actually pumping that same water into the chiller. That would have worked well. Yeah, 76 is where we're at. So, I'll take it. That's not too shabby. And now we'll turn off our starter here. Click. I'm gonna grab my rare earth magnet. I'm popping the foam stopper out off camera here just so I can set it upside down on the stir plate. So you take your rare earth magnet, you find your, where is it? There it is. So rare earth magnets holding on to, I'm not sure you can see that, but holding on to it there. Yeast is going in. Here we go. And it's going to be a happy tank. This sucker is going to blow out. I would bet money on it. If it does, I'll film it. How about that? So I'm going to set that back over there. Let's see. We'll grab our... Whoops. Get that sanitizer off there. Okay. So, of course, I always check to make sure I've got the ultimate wiggle room there. That looks good. In place, rock and roll. Okay, now let's see. Oh, you know what? Oh, here it is. I was going to say, I know I had an airlock around here somewhere. Gonna hit it with some sanitizer. Now this is sulfite sanitizer. This is the real nasty stuff we use for winemaking. Kills everything on contact, so I don't need to wait around. I'm going to pop off my chiller here from the sink. Of course, it's not going to work. Give me just a second. I'm going to go rinse this off. In my other sink, just down the way here. Okay. So, sanitized. In it goes. Rock and roll. Okay, I'm going to pop this in. I'm not going to put the top on or any liquid because I'm going to pick it up and they expand and contract. So we're going to move it into the fermentation chamber and we will be ready to roll. Okay, so we've got it in the fermentation chamber here. Everything's taped in. The probe is just beneath this piece of foam. The heater is attached to the outside. It's plugged into the wall. I'm going to turn it on here in just a second, but needed to add our acid sanitizer, which is Star San, to the airlock here. I like using Star San or something like that, so that way in the event there's a back suction, doesn't cause any infections or anything. And I made this up with RO water. You can see it's still clear. Making it up with RO or distilled makes it so that the minerals in your water don't interfere with it, make it all cloudy. So there we go. Batch is done. We'll just now let this sit. I'm going to dial it into 67 degrees exactly. I'm going to go 1 degree margin on each side. Want to ferment it nice and cool so that way it's got a nice mellow character, not too estery. And we're going to give this a week, and then I'm probably going to brew another batch because I've got 6 weeks till the wedding, and I need to brew 3 beers. So a 6-week, a 5-week, and a 4-week. I'm thinking brown ale, a French country ale, and then something light like maybe a cream ale, something like that. So cool. Well, thanks for watching YouTube. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down in the comment section down below. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new to it, and of course, if you've got questions, email me, leave a comment, whatever. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. And yeah, I hope this was informational, and we will see you soon. Cheers!